Hey guys, welcome to Mississippi 4.
1-1.
We're glad to have you back. We're going to actually take and combine 2 weeks into one, so you get a twofer today.
Twofer.
We're sitting here in my cubicle. This is down in the basement in my office. Give you a little quick view here of where I try to get
Here,
stuff
let me
done.
give you a better view. Look down the hall. Yeah, see that? There we go. Yeah,
So
this is where we stick all the reprobates down
I
here.
know they put us down in the dungeon.
Yep.
But we want to go ahead and get straight to it. There hasn't been a whole lot of stuff that's been super noteworthy this week, so we're going to kind of push them together.
Right. We're going to hit them really quick.
Yeah, and today is Wednesday, the 16th, 15th.
Right. We've adjourned for the day, and my wife's fixing to make me go spend some money. So, getting right on it. Senate Bill 2710.
Yes.
This was a bill that we talked about last week. This is about sanctuary cities and universities and anywhere where people try to keep people that are here that are undocumented or illegal and trying to have a sanctuary place for them. That's against federal law, and we wanted to reinforce that with state law. Making it where you couldn't have sanctuary
campuses
zones,
or cities.
yeah, zones, any of that kind of stuff.
It made big news recently when the student government on unnamed, Ole Miss,
Ole Miss.
tried to make it a sanctuary.
Congratulations, campus. Olivia Huser, by the way, new student body senator.
Absolutely.
Way to go.
Gonna
make Ole Miss great again.
It's gonna be huge.
All right, here we go.
Anyway, so what this did is it didn't create a new law. It reiterated federal law, and it's passed the Senate. It has passed the House as of last week, and the governor's indicated that he is going to sign it,
right?
And make a statement that there's no cities or zones within the state of Mississippi.
And it's basically already law. I mean,
it is.
This is just reinforcing the fact that you have to follow federal and state laws.
Absolutely.
So, what about the flag?
Yeah, well, last week that's kind of like a to be continued. So, because the debate continued on from last week into this week, so by doing a 2-week recap, we can kind of get you up to date on that.
Right.
Last week there was a bill that didn't really have anything to do per se with the flag. It was Senate Bill 2509. It had to do with providing tax exemption to private entities that provided affordable student housing at our universities. Representative William Shirley got up and offered an amendment that would require the universities to fly our state flag. A lot of you, I know I've had a lot of constituents, Steve, that say this is a travesty, that they receive about $750 million from the state of Mississippi, whether in the form of bonds or just straight up revenues or cash. And I think all 8 of them have quit flying the state flag.
And it's our opinion, if you take state funds, if you're taking taxpayer dollars, let me rephrase that, because it's not state funds, it's taxpayer dollars.
It's your dollars. It's my dollars.
It's your dollars. Then they should fly the state flag. And it has has anything to do with the current flag. It's the flag.
Right.
Whatever the flag is, you should fly it if you're taking taxpayer dollars.
And what has happened is the universities have bought into this national liberal narrative and decided to yank it down. And so if you're disillusioned or disappointed or don't like the current flag, the best thing to do is to organize a movement, get the signatures, get it back on the ballot in the form of a referendum, and let's change it.
And let me encourage you kids. Let me encourage the kids at the universities and colleges, just like Olivia Huser, get involved. We've got great conservative students out there. Get involved in student government, and don't let your voice be silenced because of inactivity. Get involved and make a difference on campus.
Yes. So with this bill, what happened was Representative Shirley provided an amendment that would require that they fly the state flag. If they're receiving state funds, then they should fly the state flag. It's already required for K through 12 in the state.
And it passed, what, 57 to 56?
Yeah, it was a close one, but it did pass. And the bill then passed, and it was held on a motion, and then ultimately tabled, I believe.
Right, it was tabled.
And so fast forward to this week, and Representative Shirley produced 2 more amendments, the exact same amendment on 2 of the IHL appropriation bills.
Right.
It did not make it this time.
Not for lack of trying.
Not for lack of trying. We tried.
That's just important for us. And also, what about there's roads and bridges we wanted to talk about?
Yes, that was the third thing.
Um,
It was a big deal last week. You are well aware, if you're keeping up with anything going on in Mississippi politics, that every time we turn around, we seem to be talking taxes, whether it's in a gas tax
mhm.
or an internet tax or a lottery, which is kind of a elective selective tax, where you choose to basically pay a tax, and all with the hopes of coming up with funds in order to pay for our delinquent roads and bridges. If you listen to one side of the narrative, the bridges are about to collapse and school buses loaded full of children are all going to crash and die. The other side would say, well, if it's such a dire need, then we have a priority problem in the state, and we shouldn't be funding equestrian centers and walking trails and you
And we've
know,
got a new president that's pledging $1 trillion to infrastructure
yeah,
countrywide. And why not wait to see what he's going to do? He's followed his promises so far. Well, we can talk about that Affordable Care Act thing later. But,
yeah.
uh, if the federal government's going to divvy up $1 trillion, then I'm not for taking any more of your money.
That's right. Well, so Senate Bill 2939 in and of itself isn't what's noteworthy. What's noteworthy is that the House put a amendment into this Senate bill that basically takes the already passed $50 million bond bill that was voted on and passed to help the roads and bridges in the state that are in the worst state, um, and among a few other things. And a lot of people will tell you that this was a little bit better approach because than 480, which was the internet sales tax bill. Because what this does is it says we will take those monies and we will earmark them specifically for roads and bridges.
And
Right now in our state,
that's the internet taxes that are already being collected.
believe it or not,
Um,
Amazon is not
and
the first to
they're going to
already.
earmark those
Right.
to go to roads and bridges. So
A lot of people think that Amazon was part of 480. That came about before 480 even passed. And Amazon is not the only national company that is electively collecting sales tax for Mississippi. There are many other ones. They just happen to be the biggest, so they're the most noteworthy. But what this does is the monies that are already being collected, we don't really have any say in that. That is something they've chosen to do, and they are voluntarily paying it to the state. Um, that money has been, in part of this amendment, was 60% of those monies were to go to MDOT, where they would use um, on the most I guess, dilapidated of bridges and roads.
yeah, that's
20,
better than delinquent.
yeah,
I wanted to ask you a while ago why all the roads and bridges were late.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I
Did
don't
I
know.
say delinquent?
Yeah, you did. But anyway, dilapidated,
It's been a long
yeah,
morning.
whatever it is. So
25% would go to counties, and then 15% would go to cities in the form of a grant fund. So basically, if your city has a bridge that they're supposed to maintain that they can't afford to fix, they could apply to this grant fund to MDOT and get the monies that way. So it specifically earmarks whatever monies are being collected already to go towards roads
and
and
we're
bridges.
excited about the money that actually is able to go back to the counties because
And the cities.
I know being from DeSoto County, our board of supervisors do a great job
They do.
with roads and bridges, and that's exciting that the money that's there, that it will get earmarked, it will go back to the county for them to do as they need.
As it should, Steve, because believe it or not, sales tax in Mississippi, a portion of whatever you pay in sales tax in whatever county or city goes back to that county or city that whatever item was sold in. So it should be sent back. And so this is good that it's going to earmark that. I think the last portion of this was it also stated that should the Congress ever officially deal with this issue and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and make it mandatory to collect internet sales tax because they're the ones that would have to do it, that this money would still be earmarked. And there was one more portion that said any funds collected in any year that the state of Mississippi's revenues grow by more than 2%, anything in excess of 2% would be split. 50% of that portion would go.
It would be
earmarked
earmarked for roads and bridges as
up
well.
to, I believe it's $100 million. So I believe this is a much more appropriate and
venue.
sound direction
Venue.
rather
It doesn't
than
raise your taxes.
right.
It just allocates funds that are already being collected to make sure that there is money going to the most needy construction areas, where bridges that are already closed down, roads that are just completely shut down because of disrepair. Uh, this will make sure that money just doesn't go to the general fund and disappear. That it will go to these areas that need it the
specifically
most.
earmarked. So that's been pretty much it. Tomorrow, Thursday, I think the 16th. Is it the 16th?
Yes.
We don't anticipate anything happening, so we decided to go ahead and do a twofer and combine these two.
Right.
We've got 2 weeks left in this session. We're going to be actually adjourning a day early, saving the taxpayers some
Saving
money.
y'all money.
And I don't know what it saves on the Senate side, but it's over 30 grand a day that we don't meet that it saves the state. So that's good.
Right.
And just want to encourage you guys to keep those questions coming.
Please
share this. Yeah, share
the videos. We need more people watching. We want to try to educate Mississippi as much as we can on the process and get you guys involved. So please share, invite your friends to like the page, and help us grow.
Be blessed. Have a great week, and we'll catch you back here
God
next
bless
week
everybody.
on Mississippi Fall.
1-1.